Chicky, chick, 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 chick. All right, my friends, I am going to tell you in the next few minutes how to make sure that your chicken coop is predator proof. Now, keep in mind that I have an urban kind of chicken setup here, so we are not out in the country. We do not have a lot of daytime predators other than aerial predators, obviously. So really the things that we have to worry about is at night. Our yard is completely fenced in, so animals like digging underneath inside our yard is not a huge concern for us. Someone gifted us, and pretty immediately I realized that this thing was not ready to go. It had a lot of vulnerabilities, and the last thing we want is to see our little guys get attacked while we're sleeping at night. But if you are doing some urban chicken keeping and you want to make sure that your chicken coop is good, that you're going to be safe at night, let me just show you what I've done here. It had these nesting boxes that did not have proper doors, so I pulled them off, created new ones to put on there. I also did not like how loose this hardware cloth was on the sides. There was a huge hole in the back that someone had cut to let their chickens get in and out, but that's a massive problem for nighttime. The ladder going up to the top didn't properly go into the hole, so I've already adjusted it in this clip so that they could get up to the top at night. Okay, and there was no door going from the ladder up to the coop, so there was nothing to protect them if something dug under at night and got into the bottom part of the coop. Also, there was this big gap in the wood right here when you closed the door that I was super not comfortable with because something could get in. Okay, so the first thing I did was I built these doors with hardware cloth, a really firm hardware cloth. It has wood on the outside and also wood on the inside so that it's not just relying on screws to stay in, but it's actually super duper firm and nothing is going to get through these doors now. Next thing I did was I got busy painting because aesthetics matter, and I wanted the chicken coop to match all the other stuff that is in our yard. So I painted the whole thing black. It started off this red ugly color that you can see in the corner. Next thing I did is I put this piece of wood in to block that gap and to tighten up the hardware cloth where it was a little bit loose. Give me a second, I swear it's gonna be pretty in a minute. I thought I could use nails, but I actually had to use screws to make sure that this was nice and secure, and again, made it black like everything else on the coop. Here I am putting the finishing touches on the other door, making sure that it is good and functional. Okay, next I came and I put this door in. I had to kind of put a few pieces of wood in place so that the hinges would sit evenly, but I've put this in so that when they go up at night, we can close it and they're gonna be nice and safe. I'll probably put a brick on top of it just to make sure that it has weight when it's closed and nothing can push it open. Last but certainly not least, we have to close up this vulnerability hole that we have right here. So I actually cut a piece of hardware cloth just a little bit bigger than the size of the hole, and I used pieces of the hardware cloth string to actually loop it in various places and make sure that it was tight and nothing could push through it. And here she is, final product. I'm way less sweaty and nasty today than the day that I worked on this, but I think it's really good. I think it's really safe. Got all of those risk factors out of the way, and this is a super functional urban chicken coop.